folks. Sunday Night Wars. They live on once again. 2 weeks into this format, the the format has changed immediately because I have priorities. This not being one of them, to be clear. But I'm here nonetheless. I did appear on Fed Dead. I don't know if you guys know that, but I appeared, so I actually get a royalty for that. But,
big Jake Paul guy yet to leave.
Yeah, a bit famously so. A lot of money riding on it. You know the deal. Nonetheless, we're back. Fleet Week. This is the penultimate week before the pay-per-view. Much to discuss. The Young Lions. Well, 2 of the 3 Young Lions are in attendance. The other is on location reporting for the program. We'll get to that later. But nonetheless, expert panel as always. Young Dukes, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Joe?
I'm waiting for someone to ask me that. I don't get asked that a lot around here. I appreciate it very much.
Trying to do my part.
Yeah. Tope Suicida, how are you?
Doing great. Wonderful Sunday. Couldn't be better vibes.
Did you win any bets regarding the Jake Paul fight that we all just collectively watched or not?
It wasn't on my book. I would have lost money though.
Of course you would. Why would I assume that you'd win? That's a good point. There you go. All right, folks. Now, you know the deal around here. We do Dynamite, we do Rampage, we do the Vibrator, which is obviously everyone's favorite part of the show. But I do think this being Fleet Week, it makes sense to kind of just talk a little Fleet 50 this past Thursday on the flagship. For those of you who don't know, latenightgrin.com, we went through it, the official Fleet 50. All 3 of the Young Lions sent ballots, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there were some controversies among those ballots, which you don't have to get into now unless you want to. But there was a lot of controversy in the end as the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, run it back, got himself a repeat victory in the Fleet 50. Very controversial result. Tope, floor is yours if you have any kind of any grievances to air regarding the Fleet 50 of 2022.
It's pretty cool to see that Danielson's a Patreon.
Wow.
That's true.
That's a serious allegation, kid.
Serious allegation. You didn't watch this shit.
Well, you never know, brother. You never know what's going on.
It.
I mean, he probably watches Fed Dead just to keep up to date keep up with what's going on in New York, But yeah, Fleet Week, he probably close enough to. He doesn't need to watch. That's fair. Dukes, do you share similar cynicism regarding the result of this Fleet 50?
No, I mean, I think Mox should have won. I had Mox number 1, but it's the American Dragon, man. I'm not gonna argue.
It was quite the deal, folks. Again, you can watch the whole rundown on latenightgrin.com, but Moxley had 24 votes for number 1 across our 40 ballots, and Bryan had, I think, only 6. But Moxley was left off of 3 ballots, and Bryan was left off just 1, and that was the deciding factor. That changed everything. So, quite spectacular. Go check it out, latenightgrin.com. Tope, I'm sorry to do this here on twitch.tv/latenightgrin, but Sky Blue is your number 5 in the Fleet 50. There have been, I don't want to say campaign, that'd be too strong, but there's been a movement definitely to get you taken off this platform due to that. I've, for the most part, ignored it. Do you have any response to the kind of wave of criticism you received for that particular ballot?
I will never apologize for hooping.
You got to respect that, right? You got to respect. You got no choice. Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Now, as folks, as I kind of referenced earlier, Chris is off at Universal Studios booking Ring of Honor television. He's agenting matches, doing backstage interviews, the works, the usual kind of thing that we do when we go to shows. So I'm sure we'll have something to report back on. I do want at the end of the show kind of just touch on Ring of Honor TV without doing too many spoilers because, man, I got pretty fired up last night. Exciting times, Ring of Honor TV on the way. So I will touch on that later with you guys. But first, just dive into Dynamite. A much more positive show this week. Mm-hmm. I don't mean this is a criticism because I actually think in a lot of ways it's a compliment, but it was a distinctly un-AEW episode of Dynamite, I thought, in terms of the way it was the priorities of the show. And I think that was necessary because as good as the TV's been, I think this pay-per-view needed some juice. The build needed some help. And I think this show definitely did that. But it still wasn't without a thriller in-ring. Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta for the All-Atlantic title. They tore it up in the opening spot. I mean, that's one of the best matches Yuta's had in AEW. And honestly, I kind of think one of Orange's best matches in the promotion for too. Sure, I think it's up there. Yeah, I mean, not as good as maybe the first pack match, but I think it's one of the candidates. Mm-hmm. Terrific match. Dukes, what did you make of the All-Atlantic title tilt?
Yeah, I'd probably say it was Orange's third best match, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ospreay, the first pack match, and then this.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think off the top of my head, I agree, yeah.
I fucking love Yuta as like full heel, just a fucking dickhead. He's so good when he threw him over the table and then he kicked the fucking table on him.
Mhm. Yeah, he's natural as kind of a dick, right?
He's very spiteful.
He is very much like Bob.
Yeah.
There's a lot of similarities there.
Good comp.
Yeah, I agree. Tope, what did you make of Yuta and Orange?
Very fun opener. I enjoyed it. We'll get to my one complaint when we get to the vibrator. But there was one glaring omission from this match.
Okay, great. Something to look forward to, folks. Blackpool Combat Club. We've been talking every single week about them kind of leaning heel, right? I mean, Claudio was full like soccer coach here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was lecturing. He was being kind of mean.
He's
very assertive. Dukes, what you say?
I said he smacked him.
He did. He smacked him. There's never an excuse for that as a soccer coach. And it appears that the Blackpool Combat Club, that kind of leaning, I think, is going to be more deliberate than that moving forward here. My question is very simple. Does the result on next Sunday lead to a full turn? Or is the result, I guess the result of a full turn, is the turn the finish to that match? Or does Moxley lose that match, which then turns them into a much more kind of vicious outfit overall? Dukes, what's your read on that? The Combat Club's heel turn, how do you think it's going to be executed? Or are they going to just kind of keep leaning? Go ahead.
I think they're going to keep leaning. I don't think they'll fully turn. I don't think they're going to like beat down Hangman after the match or anything. Because I think that's unless they do and then the Elite comes out, which is very possible.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Fuck that rule.
I think my current guess is Hangman wins, which then the next week's TV leads to them putting the boots to him, and then the Elite make the save. Is my guess.
The Young Bucks make the save like Hangman did for them.
Well, yeah, if you want, yeah.
It's so funny that segment was just erased from history because Bobby Fish left.
Of course, yeah. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Tope, what's your read on this Combat Club turn? Is it going to be more subtle than we're kind of projecting here, or do you think they're going to be full dicks moving forward?
I think kind of in the middle, I guess. Like, it's not going to be subtle because, I mean, not a lot of things in pro wrestling are very subtle. But I think it's not going to happen after the match, but it's going to be like a crisis of confidence. And then basically the way to make the cool, badass dudes cooler is to have them kick more people's ass. So they're just going to lean into that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
I also think I think they're going to feud with the Elite. And I think no matter what, people are going to pick sides on that. And it's not going to be clear cut either way.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be leaning both ways.
The Elite are baby faces, but they're definitely not.
It depends on who they're wrestling.
Yeah, they definitely have.
I think it's the same for the Combat Club. So
yeah, no, I agree. Actually, it'll be interesting. I think again, without doing spoilers for Ring of Honor, I think some of the stuff we got there suggests that the leaning may get more kind of more apparent moving forward. It'll be interesting to see what that means for the whole group. What that means for Danielson is always the big question. He's on the outside looking in already. What does that mean? Do we get further away? It would be weird to me if we end up in a spot where Brian is the sole babyface and leaves the group, because he's always been the predominant arsehole of the group. So that would be a weird outcome, I think, of this whole deal. But it will be interesting. On the other side, Orange Cassidy is now, I think, around 4 months into his reign, maybe a little bit more. He's made like 10 defenses. He's made some of the most defenses in any AEW title reign ever. He's doing great work. The belt doesn't really have any identity other than it's just the second CNC title, which, I mean, whatever. My question is, how much longer does this reign go? And in an ideal world, Tope Suicida, who ends it?
It never ends. He goes on forever. I'm noted on this take.
That's fair. I respect that stance. Dukes, you on board with that, or you got a different take?
I actually have a different take. I wouldn't mind if it went forever because I like Orange Cassidy. But I think the idea, I don't know if this will happen. I don't think it'll happen. But I think the ideal person is Miro.
Mm-hmm.
And if not Miro, I was going to say Brody King, but he's probably going to be a trios champ.
What about Roosh?
That would be good.
Roosh working dates elsewhere would be fun too, right?
Nigel McGuinness.
Well, he took a booking today. Did you see that?
Yeah. Do you see Manny actually DM'd Progress Wrestling?
Sorry? He did what?
He said, hello, Mr. Progress. This is the Hooper. That's real. I'm not.
How can I contact Nigel?
Yeah. How can I get in contact with Nigel McGuinness?
I mean, that's tremendous.
Yeah.
God, he could actually probably get a promotional interview, which is even funnier. God bless him. Manny the Hooper, folks.
Finding Nigel, one episode.
Yeah. He just shows up at the venue, shakes hands with him, and that's it. He looks at the camera. We got him. It's over,
Honor
folks.
is real, folks.
Yeah, it's over. Okay, before we move forward here, I want to mention a couple of things. Kirby, this was actually this was like Friday, I think, but I must have missed it. He resubscribed, which we appreciate. And then he said, and I quote, Fed Dead Redemption, the old greater than Arrow, Fleet Week. Boys, what do you make of that?
Ban him.
Fair. You guys have the power to do that in truth. So, I mean,
like a 30-minute timeout.
Okay, that's fair. Well, it's 3 days ago, so I think at this point he's probably, we just assume we did that. Jason, resubscribe Prime also. Jason's been with us for 9 whole months. Ridiculous. What an indictment of both you and I, Jason. But tremendous. Thank you very much, pal. We appreciate it. Let's move forward here to some other Dynamite business. Let's actually go from the opener to the main event. Moxley and Evil Uno. There was a lot of hand waving of the Uno, myself included, to be clear. A lot of who the fuck is this for? Why the fuck is this happening? And those of us that asked those questions were actually owned, I think, in quite violent fashion. Evil Uno really brought it. I thought he was terrific throughout the thing. It was perfectly produced in terms of the length they had. I think they had about 6 or 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Blood everywhere. Moxley looked like a killer while actually elevating Uno dramatically and giving him something that was really, substantial against the top guy. This was pretty much perfect, I think. And I didn't see that coming. Also, closing angle was great. Dukes, what did you make of the last, 10 minutes of Dynamite this week?
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, Uno, got his spot, did his big dive, which ruled. And then that final shot of him in the choke with the blood just shooting out.
Literally shooting out.
Yeah, it was gross, and it was awesome. And then they hit the wrong music, and Hangman came out. Still got a big pop. I got very scared he had a new theme song, but I think they just hit the Dark Order music on accident.
So, you said you were scared about the theme music.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel when I tell you that Jack Crosby was also scared? Does that upset you? Because it would upset me if I was in a similar place to Jack Crosby.
It upsets me in a different way. It's like, wow, Jack Crosby had a good take. That's crazy.
Yeah. Wash King.
Yeah. Still got it.
Yeah, he's still got his fastball, brother.
Just a kid from Akron.
Tope, what did you think of the Dynamite closer?
Oh, it was perfect for what it was. Like you said, it was far surpassed expectations. I mean, I can't say I was looking forward to it. And when they said it was main eventing, I was like, oh. But hey, they showed out. So congrats.
I think there have been a few moments in recent months, and it's hilarious because there was so much doom and gloom last week. But I think we all agree, those of us that are still really plugged in, we've really enjoyed this last few months of TV, right? It's been some of Tony's best work. And there's been a few reminders of how much you can get out of guys. It's easy to just dismiss an Evil Uno the way that I did and be like, oh, who cares, right? They've signed all these wrestlers since the start of the promotion, so on and so forth. Hold up. Jack Crosby is the Eric Bischoff of Twitter. Absolute con artist.
True.
Hello, it's Night has commented this, and I'm not going to comment on it because Jack's friend of mine. I'm just going to leave it on the screen for about 10 minutes.
Fair.
Kind of let you guys make your own decision, but quite the comment there. I appreciate it. Yeah, what was we talking about? Oh yeah, you can make. My God, Ben just fucking followed up.
Oh, God.
I'm not even going to put that one on the screen. Sorry, folks. Yeah, you can get a lot out of a guy like Evil Uno, but it's so easy to kind of forget because we don't see him very often, right? It's it's all about the role and the presentation. Obviously, look, I don't think, just to be totally honest, as a singles guy, I don't think Uno's needs to be on the show every week by any means. And I think he's clearly got a ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
But they told a specific story here, and as Choc kind of gets at, it took me back a little bit to those old days when their roster wasn't nearly as stacked, but they still were producing really good shows.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can forget how talented this guy is and how capable he is, and a lot of those guys, honestly. So, good shit, real grab. Some would say, I'm going to put this now back on the screen. Sorry, Duke, you're going to have to. Actually, let me switch it because Tope hasn't. He's got his hat on. So,
fair.
There you go. You stay
also,
there.
Big respect to Evil Uno. I love getting rid of the vest, just letting the titties hang out.
Yeah.
Big win.
Well, that was a big goal of his. I know he spoke a lot about wanting to get to a point in terms of confidence where he could drop the vest.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's out there rocking it, man. He's a million people watch that damn show. high-rated show. Did well. So he drew a house. God bless. All
Huge
the boys are
demo
gonna have to shake
numbers.
his hand next week and thank him for putting food on the table.
Join the Dark Order.
True. Well, all right. Let's go from one underrated king, Evil Uno, to another, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. He had another big segment this week. There was many different things in this segment. I've rewatched it because on the air I just spoke over it the whole time and talked about
Fair.
I can't remember what Manny got me talking about, something that
Probably
wasn't MJF.
basketball.
I think it was actually, yeah. I think it was Kevin Durant and the Suns or something. I don't know.
Mm.
But I rewatched it, and obviously, look, I mean, incredible delivery from Max.
Yeah.
I just, in a vacuum, I was talking about this with Joe on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Not myself, to be clear. There's another guy called Joe. I wasn't just sort of talking to myself in a circle, but I might have been. Either way, it's like, in a vacuum, this was a really good segment. But when you piece it alongside the other things, I just don't know if it truly fits.
Yeah.
And the fair argument to that would be, that's the point. He's just a fucking liar, that's who he is. He just changes his story depending on what he needs. And there's some truth to that, certainly, but I think that picture could be painted better than it is, honestly. I don't know. I was very torn on this, even though I thought his delivery was spectacular. Tope, what did you make of the big MJF segment?
The pieces were all there, and I don't think they were if they were puzzle pieces, they weren't necessarily in the correct order, but you can see generally what they were trying to all do.
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, I mainly just remember the big moments and move on.
Yeah, one thing I should note is the brawl was spectacular. I mean, it looked like he got legitimately knocked out.
Awesome.
It was very violent. Brian's strike on that last one was something. Dukes, what do you think of this segment?
Yeah, the thing with MJF is the segments have no continuity to them, it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of he's a liar, he's gaslighting him or whatever. It feels like all headcanon. They haven't actually done any of that since probably the Punk feud. And it just feels like we're kind of covering the holes as they go.
Do you think the announcers could do a better job of telling that story?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I think they're so... Look, they do a good job of making it clear that Max is a piece of shit. I mean, Tony does it. He literally calls him that. Yeah, he calls him that regularly on the show. I think they could probably, they kind of capture those layers, quote unquote. If they are there, they could capture them better than they do. Ultimately, though, did you leave this segment more excited for the match?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah? Tope, same for you?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that was one thing I would say is, even though we all agree it was a little bit out of place in terms of the tone of the feud, I think you could excuse it in this case of them kind of being we need to add something to this. It needs a little more juice. And it worked.
Yeah.
I mean, the crowd loved the brawl and they were into it. And MJ's promo got people talking, so that worked.
Yeah, that's the thing. His delivery's so good, it's kind of always going to work with the crowd.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes he goes out there and tries to cut a promo like he has something to prove, but he doesn't. The crowd already hates him. He doesn't. I feel like sometimes he tries to do too much when he doesn't really need to.
Yeah, and I think that's where you kind of again have to remind yourself watching him that he's still a really young guy.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It's he's, there's not many guys who've been at his level at 25 years old or whatever it is.
It's crazy.
It's like me, him, Alton.
Me.
Well, you're a pretty good Marcus Alexander Bagwell type prospect. You need those guys on the roster.
That's insulting.
He won Rookie of the Year in '92, bro. What do you want from me? That was a big deal. You'll be teaming up with Too Cold Scorpio next year, Tope. Hang in there, all right? Anyway, good shit. I liked it overall, especially when I rewatched it and was not talking to Manny about the vaccine or whatever. So let's now move to another hit. Double J, baby. The big man, there he is. He's still rocking it like he tore his hamstring about a minute into this match. Powered through. Tag team battle royale, which I thought was about 55% to 60% longer than it needed to be, but it's a battle royale, so fuck it, who cares? There's a lot of people standing in corners throwing bad punches. That's real graps. The finishing stretch was legitimately incredible.
Oh, yeah. I thought Trent had it for sure.
Yes, and the spot where Jeff dumped him and he skinned the cat and Jeff was doing the strut, and then Jay pushed him back over and they did the strut together.
They did it again.
Now, that was a great heel spot. Tremendous. I mean, that's what was so good. I would argue it may have even been wasted on a match they were going to win because the finish being Trent throwing them both over would have been absolutely incredible.
Yeah, as they were doing the strut down.
Yes, that would have been. And the crowd, they like Trent, but they came up huge for him just in sheer response to the way the guys were working. It was
Jeff Jarrett's a real heel. So
he really is, man.
He's so good, bro.
I actually hate using the phrase because it's so like cliche, right? Oh, he's a real heel because he's an old wrestler. Like it's so easy, but he really is, though, man. You can see the way the crowd reacts when he's in that kind of spot. It's incredible. I mean, last week, bless his heart, man. He lost his dad. He worked Dynamite one day later, and they were trying to fuck you, Jarrett.
Real grabs.
That's real fucking grabs. You can't argue with that. That's incredible. Tope, what did you make of the big tag team battle royale?
Unfortunately, I may have ignored a lot of logic and convinced myself that Aussie Open was going to take this. So when they got dumped out pretty early, I was kind of sad. But like you said, enjoyable for what it was. But like most battle royals in this company, it went on for a little too long for me.
Yeah, they're not the most tightly produced matches. I mean, it's fair to say, Dukes, right? There's a lot of dead air in between there. But yeah, what do you think?
I liked it. I mean, the Butcher being like red in the corner within like the first 2 minutes, that's good.
Indeed, it was. There was a lot of other things on Dynamite, folks, and we have a perfect segment to cover exactly that. That's it, indeed, folks. You've been waiting for it. Everyone's favorite segment, which this week is sponsored by the Limitless One. Indeed, that was quite the deal for us to strike there with him coming back to TV.
You can't see me right now, but I'm doing the little hand gesture that he did.
Well, I think it's important that, you guys always get on things when they're red hot, and Keith definitely is.
Joe, this is hour 2.
You ruined the spot.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Hit the theme song. Hit the song again.
Why is it the... Oh, God damn it. Hang on a second. Right, hang on, wait. It's this one. Right. Ready? Right. Well, folks, it's time for your favorite segment of the week. Yes, indeed. It's the Fleet Week Vibrator of the Week, sponsored by Keith Lee.
There we go.
I had to. Come on. All right, here we go. I'm going to have to remove this comment, unfortunately. I'm sorry. It's great, but I have to. All right, here we go.
My God, man.
There's so much here, man. I'm like, just the fact that the first one took me that long to really appreciate is incredible. All right, here we go. OC, where is the cool shirt, bro?
Yep.
What did he not have a shirt on?
He didn't have the cool championship shirt that I like.
Oh. But it was, so would it have been impeccable vibes if he did?
Yes.
So now this is important. I notice this is a lot more streamlined than usual. That first marker is the whole match, it looks like here, right? And usually you kind of break that up into different portions. I like that as a step. It feels like more mature on your part, guys. Good job.
Yeah.
We stay there in between good and impeccable vibes. Then we drop some between pops and good vibes for Evil Uno dies tonight with a little Michael Myers love here.
That was my idea.
That was very good. That's very, very good. I can't believe it took me as long as it did to notice that. But look at this. Joe sabotaging for his problematic Fed dead body. Are they problematic? Did they say something bad? Oh, no.
Well,
they
Bob
get in trouble?
On the show, so.
Chat, tell me if they got themselves in trouble. That would be very unfortunate.
I feel like it's inherently problematic.
Yeah, fair. Agreed. Okay, we then come back up here. Good vibes for Absolute Fresh Fit, which I believe is in reference to Ricky Starks.
Yes.
Let's talk through that segment. There was a lot there. It was pretty long, but I do actually think it was pretty neat how they did it. And Ricky came off looking pretty damn cool. I thought his grin to the camera was a good baby
The
face
little
moment.
wink, yeah.
Did this increase your excitement at all for the pay-per-view match?
Absolutely. Because this feud was not doing it for me, if I'm being honest. Fair. But I really like this.
Yeah.
Ricky just kind of fucking gaslit him. Made Jericho look stupid.
Are you... How do I put this? Are you as concerned about the finish as I am?
Yes.
I'm very concerned.
Yeah, the everyone banned from ringside makes me think that everyone indeed will not be banned from ringside and there will be shenanigans.
Yeah. Well,
I think Ricky will win, though.
There was that trademark the other week, right?
Oh, no.
You know the one with Paul White? Jericho?
No. Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Let's go.
Oh, fuck.
Let's go.
Listen. They can't. Oh, they can't even get the song though. They can't get the Break the Walls Down. It's the Big Show mashup.
Yeah, but imagine a mashup with Judas and fucking Paul White's
Oh,
theme.
now wait a minute. This
Action
journey in my mind.
Action Andretti and Ricky Starks versus Paul White and Chris Jericho is one of the most insane matches imaginable. Like Action Andretti doing his offense on Paul and just sort of wishing for the best, hoping for the best. That could be quite the deal. I gotta be honest. I just don't. That gimmick feels like, as you said, it feels like an alert. You know, like this is trouble ahead.
Me when I lie.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's a shame. All right. We drop off here to just merely pops for Big Ass, Big Bill Ass. Explain the titling there. It's very interesting.
Tope?
It's pretty self-explanatory, if we're being honest. Look at the scissor face.
I don't think that's self-explanatory. I actually think it's very much necessary you do explain it. Big Ass, Big Bill Ass. Meech is turning it off. He's so offended. That's quite outrageous. That's rather crass, dare I say. Dukes, would you agree?
Yes.
Factual. Oh my God.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah, Chris informed us of this.
Tony Chimmel?
Yeah.
All right, forget Big Ass. Tony Chimmel's working the Ring of Honor tapings, or whatever it is.
Edge is coming in, baby.
Just him doing Adam, but the exact same way. All right, never mind, Tope. It's fine. I appreciate the graphic. Instant Classic makes instant impact. We go all the way up here to a joint show high, and they're in between Impeccable and Good Vibes. That was a hell of a segment, actually. I forgot to kind of mention that as a single. They kind of set up this idea that Christian was going to cut another promo.
Mm-hmm.
Jack immediately cut him off, which is what he should do because he should be so fed up with this shit. And he hesitated too long and he got punched in the dick for it. I mean, we've all been there, haven't we, Tope? You know?
Yep, many times.
We've all been there, folks. It was a great segment. Assuming that's on the pay-per-view, that would have to be one of my most anticipated matches on Revolution, honestly. Are you guys in the same boat on that front? I'm really excited for that one.
Yeah, me too. Especially since the first one was an angle and not a match. We still haven't gotten this match. It's been like a year and a half.
It's incredible, man. They started teaming up after Double or Nothing 2021, almost 2 years ago. Okay, we reach our very first impeccable vibes of the show. Hashtag investigate Aubrey. For those of you that are listening to this, there is a graphic on the screen of Aubrey seemingly in prison. I'm going to assume, Tope, this is you lashing out in response to her officiating of one Sky Blue.
So, I don't know if you guys were watching the match, but there were some shenanigans that are illegal that happened, and nobody seems to care.
Illegal.
Two separate words there. I noticed.
She was robbed. This is BS, and I won't stand for it.
I've been informed that there's no more BS.
Yeah, that was pretty much announced 2 years ago now. I guess the question from me would be, like, have you considered if she wanted it bad enough?
She did.
I have another question.
Had a pin.
Fair. What's your question, dude? It's a good question.
If she lost and she was robbed, why is it impeccable vibes?
That's a fucking great question, man. Great question. Tope?
Is it because the graphic
do you know how high it would have been with proper officiating?
No.
That's a worthwhile. We'll be off the screen.
We're breaking scales.
Yeah.
Wow, we've never done that before.
You know, in some ways, I'm glad we saved this one for a second. Now that I'm looking at the imagery on the screen, I'm just taking it in as a whole. You know, folks, I do recommend if you're looking at this here, maybe you go on TV or something, like, don't look at each individual piece of this vibrator. You know, look at it as a total piece of work. I mean, there's a lot going on here. You got to respect it. I respect it enough to even let this slide. I respect Tope Suicida's work on this. Good job.
One thing I will never say about Tope Suicida is that he doesn't show up, you know, on the vibrator, especially with his Photoshop work, man.
Bang, bang.
And you ruined it.
All right.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Okay, here we go, folks. We drop off to mid for first portion of Max's promo. It says MJF waffles about on ramp. It's pretty accurate. We then climb quite dramatically. We soar above Good Vibes for the actual good MJF part. When would the line be there, folks?
I think when he started looking down the camera.
We talked about Brianna.
Promo. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Bree Woo.
This is fucking bullshit, by the way. The only reason he put it in mid is so that the dot is in the middle of the circle.
Oh, that might be real graps. That might be real graps, Dukes. I'm sorry.
It is, but also Jeff Jarrett fucking is on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I get the sense Tope may not be as excited about that as we are.
I love Jarrett.
Well, I distinctly remember a rule of some kind regarding his placement among the shits range here on this vibrator once upon a time.
That was only 1 week because very soon we realized that Jeff Jarrett is the last of a dying breed.
But I remember Tope specifically having a very, very stern promise about that being a thing to kind of anticipate moving forward. So, you get what you guys play. It's not everyone can know ball.
Jarrett wasn't the reason. I'll just leave it at that.
That's fair. Fucking Satnam thing. All right, the Eddie Kingston show is announced. We go up here almost to pops for this one. Unfortunately, I can announce that it is not titled the Eddie Kingston show. That would be fucking incredible. But he is on it nonetheless. Where are we actually at on the AEW X? Is that something you guys are going to watch? Like, do you have any interest at all, like, legitimately, or
I will keep up through the Twitter machine.
Yeah,
I probably will not watch it live.
Yeah, it feels like something that I'm going to be aware of via like the inevitable Eddie Kingston clips, good and bad, that are going to arrive. I'm definitely not convinced it's something I'm going to be watching at any kind of extended rate. Tope, where are you at on that?
Probably gonna watch the first episode and see how it is, because there's a chance that it's a pop, but a higher chance that it's not.
Is there an even better chance that it's pop but bad? That feels very likely.
It seems the most likely.
Yeah, it does. All right, nonetheless, we saw all the way up here to just shy of impeccable vibes. Evil died tonight and titties out, folks. Yes. Titties out. Mm-hmm. Not a fault that's often been tied to Evil dying tonight, but here it is on Fleet Week. You get everything around here. Incredible image again on extraordinary work on that graphic there. We've covered that. We're all kind of in on the work of Evil Uno on Dynamite. Good shit, boys. There you go, folks. The vibrator of the week here on Fleet Week delivers again, more graphics than ever. One of Tope's finest efforts. And that's fitting considering they were sponsored by the man, the myth, the legend, Keith Lee. Very good. Very, very good. All right. This is Rampage, baby. Let's talk about it. The Aussie Open were in town. They were in that Battle Royal. As Tope mentioned, that was his pick.
Uh-oh.
We can't hear you.
We lost Joe. He's back.
You're back. Your audio got really quiet for a second.
My God, that's alarming. I wasn't on mute or anything. Okay. Okay, you hear me fine now? Fine, yeah? Mm-hmm. Cool. Aussie Open, they're in the Battle Royal. Tope, they were your pick. That was, doomed for them, of course. But they did get a big signature match on Rampage, paired with the Young Bucks. They got some time. They got just shy of 20 minutes on this deal. This was obviously a big match. People wanted to see. I think it was their first tag meeting ever. Maybe their first meeting altogether, actually. I'm not sure. I don't know when they would have crossed paths. I liked it quite a bit. Tope, what did you make of Aussie Open's encounter with the Bucks?
Aussie Open are my boys. I mean, that's my personal favorite tag team in the world. So you put them up against one of these top teams, they're going to deliver, like always. I demand that they're on every AEW show for the next 5 years. That's a direct demand to Tony himself.
We know you're watching.
Yes.
My God. That was like a campaign. It's like propaganda he's doing on here now, Dukes. What do you make of that?
I would never do that.
I mean, favorite team in the world is a little disrespectful while we got, the sleeping giants of the division out there,
Number 6 on the Fleet
Triple J.
Oh, I mean, well, I don't know. Dukes, what do you think of the match?
Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi.
Tope, what the fuck, man?
I had to sell it. Come on.
I had to do it, man. Otherwise,
why did you not?
I don't know.
Fucker. Mark Davis is my take.
Yeah. You're the Mark Davis of your and Tope's team, you know that?
That's come on.
Oh, fucking owned because he loves Mark Davis.
Get fucked. Davis. Every single respect, I'm Mark.
Hold on, what do you mean by that? What does that mean?
Size, age, ability. Killing it.
Size, age, ability.
That sounded like the Cody promo.
That was a little much, man. Yeah, that was a little aggressive. We're only doing podcast bits here, bro.
I'm still mad at Aubrey.
hold on, but they're your favorite team in the
Grow
world.
up.
Shouldn't you be fine with being just one half of your favorite team?
Also, they lost. You should be mad.
Well, yeah,
Right.
I agree with that.
It feels like the only reason they wouldn't be signed to AEW is because of the kind of, it feels like New Japan want to use them, right? I know New Japan are really fucking weird with that stuff, but I think they want to use them. I think we're obviously going to see them in the Land of Honor moving forward at times. So they're always going to be kind of in the picture, but I don't know if they're ever going to be full-time AEW for the reasons I just said. But I think we can all agree we'd like them to be, right? Like Tope's bit aside, I mean, they're not stacked with heel teams, and they'd be the best heel team by a mile. So match was really good. I didn't think it was as good as they're capable of having it. I'm not sure it should have been because it was just a one-off match on TV, cold match. The crowd doesn't really know Aussie Open, really, right? And that obviously changes things. But also, I will say, credit to Meech. You won't hear that on this platform often, folks. Credit to Meech. He said it on Discord before I'd seen the match. And after I watched it, I think he was credited. I think the lights out thing kind of took the edge off the match a little bit. I think it kind of...
They did lore.
They lost their rhythm after that.
Save the lore for after the bell. I always say that.
You're famous for that quote, yeah. And then, afterwards they had the deal, the actual law that came after, which was the lights went out. They were there. I've got to look, Jericho's commentary has never been a thing that I don't like or bothers me. Like, I've always been fine with it. I know everyone else hates it or most people hate it. I've never had a problem with it. However, Chris, please, when the House of Black are shooting an angle and they're supposed to be scary, you can't say they're wearing those black phone influenced masks. I know that's kind of what it looks like, but you can't try and convince me that the House of Black characters are supposed to be influenced by 2022 cinema. I mean, there's nothing scary about that, They're supposed to be spooky. They're not supposed to be at the fucking movies coming out sketching new masks and shit. I mean, come on. What are they doing over there? Tope Suicida, am I wrong?
They should come out with a cocaine bear mask.
Well, if they did that, I would agree with him calling out. But in this case, it was unfortunate. Nonetheless, very, very good match for Rampage. Glad they got time. I actually think, considering what we said about the finish, that they would have been fine at 15. But, they got them time. It was good shit. All right. Elsewhere, the main event, Sammy Guevara, Action Andretti. Dukes, the ongoing Andretti debate seems to have come and gone. No one seems to care about discussing it anymore, but we do Fleet Week, so we still do. Where are you at this point?
I'm buying the stock. I'm back.
How much are you buying? A lot?
A sizable amount.
Okay.
Yeah. He's fucking good, man. Because he's not just... I really dispute the fact that he's just spots and stuff. His strikes are fucking awesome.
Good shit, man.
He's good.
Back in. There you go. Tope, I'm assuming you're not going to respond to this with, he's actually my favorite wrestler in the world. He should be on all AEW shows moving forward. But are you also buying stock?
It appears I'm going to make some money today because I may be selling my stock to Young Dukes.
What a turn of events. All right, let's figure this out.
No, I didn't hate it, but stocks
well,
a pretty decent price right now.
So you have to be careful. With a politician like Tope, folks, you got to be careful because he's very cunning. We're aware of this, Dukes. He's very cunning.
Oh yeah.
Duke said you didn't like it, and Tope, refusing to answer the question, simply said, "I didn't hate it," which really leaves a big, there's a big kind of gap there of truth. And I have to inquire, when you say you didn't hate it, Tope Suicida, did you like it?
Didn't hate it,
He give this 2 stars, bro. Pull up your spreadsheet, Dukes. This is fucking
good one.
There are no ratings on my spreadsheet.
Wait, what?
There are no rating. I don't rate matches.
Yeah, he just writes them down.
I rank.
It's weird.
All right, hold up, stop. Forget Fleet Week. This is important. All right. Dukes has got a spreadsheet, and as friends of Dukes, we're supporting this endeavor, right?
Whoa.
Right, as a friend of Dukes, I am. Other people can make their own choice, but as a friend of Dukes, I'm supporting this. Nothing wrong with it. Well, anyway, Dukes has got a spreadsheet, and I was on board with it because I thought he was doing it professionally and giving it his best.
I don't rate matches. This is known information.
What's the sheet for, though?
I have them in order of how much, which is my favorite. I have them in order.
Okay,
but there's no number, there's no grading of any kind.
So it's just feel. You're kind of looking at it and going, "I feel that's better." You move
even if you will.
But you don't use the vibrator.
No.
Is that
that's
yeah?
That's a good idea.
That could be good. That could be
Column
useful.
E might have to be for,
I'm gonna have to block that.
Wow.
You can't. I can't. I fucking came up with the name vibrator. You cannot.
Who has
block
the copyright on that, boys? That could be
Me.
important.
I created the name.
All right. There you go. Take that, Tope. Take that to those negotiations with the ringer, huh?
Yeah.
Useless. All right. Fair enough. Glad we got that settled. Everyone, if you want to do a spreadsheet, you got my support. Go with it. All right. Whether you have numbers, vibes, do your thing. Nothing wrong with it if you ask me. All right. Sammy Guevara. We still where are we at on Sammy Guevara? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle. Where are we at this point? Thumbs up from Dukes. He does look like him though, Tope. Where are you at?
I like it when he does the flips. When he's
You know
not
when he does
doing
this before?
Yeah, I'm doing that with my finger. I hope you know.
Good.
No, when he does the flips, he's cool, and then when he's not doing the flips, it's it's I don't hate it.
How much? Like I know you're a big star rating guy. How much does it go up when the tongue comes out with the finger motion? Because that's like a two kind of piece meal. There's just two piece meal there. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
2 dishes.
I don't know if you know this, but he's crazy. He's loco.
True.
I've heard that. Do you like when he does something? JR says his name 15 times in a row.
Sammy.
This isn't relevant to this week, but I'm going to remind you of what I said last week, which is that Jim Ross opened AEW Rampage by saying, I don't have a t-shirt because I'm too fat, which is one of the best things. I know only like 10 people watched Rampage last week, but I'm still waiting for like Twitter to get hold of this and realize how fucking awesome it was. It's been completely under-discussed. Someone changed that, damn it.
Bring him back.
He sounds like he fucking hates Rampage sometimes. It's so awesome, man. I respect it on every level. What about when the lights went out the second time?
Did I say on the show why my dad wants to watch Rampage now?
If it's Jim Ross, then you should say it every week.
We tuned into Rampage on delay because I went to his house the next Wednesday to watch Dynamite. So I got there a little early to watch Rampage. I wanted to show him. I think it was Hangman Yuta and the Jamie Hayter Emmy Soccer episode.
That was a good episode.
And the show opens. He goes, "It's Friday night, folks." And my dad looks at me and goes, "Wait, JR's back?" He goes, "We got to start watching the Rampage."
Now, Tony, if you're watching this show, you've now learned a lesson. The reason people aren't watching Rampage is they don't know it's happening. They don't know Jim's there. Mm-hmm. Don't run match graphics. Who gives a fuck? We need a video package about JR working the Rampage. That's what we need.
Actual.
Do that. Watch the demo saw. That's all. Maybe not the demo. Watch the viewership saw. Okay. There's your route to reviving the Rampage. All right. Good stuff, boys. I like it. Yeah, when the second time the lights went out and on Rampage, he was like, "What is this?" He just like yelled. I like imagine he like threw his hands up, you know. All right. Tony Storm and Willow. Tony's, presentation has been hindered by many factors, many of which are out of her hands, unfortunately, but her work is always impressive. Tope, what did you make of her match with Willow? Very
fun. I mean, I love both of these women. Yeah. So it was a can't miss unless they missed, which they didn't. Halfway through, I had to halfway through, I realized what I said.
I mean, it was accurate. It can't miss unless they miss. It wouldn't be can't miss. Yeah. Good call. Dukes, what did you think of it?
I really like this match. I love Tony's work as a heel. I think I like her more, actually, in ring as a heel. Mm-hmm. And when you're a heel against Willow in the ring, it's pretty easy. So
fair. Okay, next week. Here's what we got on the docket, boys. What's happening here?
I'm reading the chat.
Okay, fair. Yes, I know exactly what this is. This was an incredible thing that JR would do. No One Gunkel says, was watching a clash where JR called 4 different spots karate just because Chono did them. The other thing he would do is he would always call a knife edge chop a judo chop on occasion.
Hell
and
yeah.
There was never an understanding of what that is or why he's saying it, but respect nonetheless.
Can you imagine how much that would piss off Taz now if he did that?
Oh, and then he'd say something about hooking the leg and Taz just punch him in the face.
Taz would, call it by its scientific name or whatever, and Taz would be like, spell it.
And then JR will be like, you should watch what you say. Watts has got a gun, Riho and Tony Storm next week on Dynamite. The big gal is back. Riho, everyone's favorite professional wrestler, has returned. Tony Storm, we just discussed how good of a heel she is in ring. This feels like a kind of natural matchup. Do we assume they're going to be really nasty and get some heat on poor Riho? It feels like they're going to use her to be.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very vicious.
It's gonna be hot.
I'm
They're gonna do the
excited.
spray. They're gonna do the spray paint. I'm gonna lose my shit on fucking camera, bro.
Doing the run along?
Their last one, yes. We're doing one last.
Okay.
I wanted to get the people to the pay-per-view, you know. Follow the right thing to do. You know, I'm driving this bus. I ain't gonna stop before the fucking end destination. You know, we're gonna get to Revolution. So
Destination unknown.
Hardly.
Thank you. Thank you.
speaking of such, Ruby Soho is headed to AEW Revolution. How scared are you boys of the looming cloud that hangs above all elite wrestling regarding Saraya winning this world's title?
Sky Blue should be in this match. She had their pin.
Let it go, kid. It's over. Let it go.
Why can't they just do a singles match, man?
Not allowed.
Why?
I don't know, man. It's the demo.
It's a pay-per-view. Get to pay for it.
They may still get the demo on pay-per-view buys, to be fair.
I don't know how it works.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't actually think Saraya's winning.
No, I don't at all.
I think the reason it's triple threat is because the idea of the story is Ruby's in between them, and that's what the triple threat is, right?
But on the graphic, Ruby's actually on the right, and Jamie's in the middle.
God damn it!
Well, she's the world champion. She has to be in the middle. So
Cancel the match.
Just fucking throw it out. Enough's enough, you know? What are we even buying this for at this point? Hopefully the match is good. I will say this, legitimately. I was kind of stunned to go off the Green Along on Wednesday and see, like, sweeping takes about how bad the Saraya Sky Blue match was. I thought it was totally inoffensive, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and now let me be clear, that doesn't mean she should be wrestling for the world title because it's like a 3-minute match on TV. I'm not trying to say it was good. But I honestly thought they did okay. And Sky actually thought looked good, you know?
She usually does, man. She's like bits aside, she is good and getting better. Have you heard that she beat the Alexa Bliss clone allegations? That's a big deal.
Listen, tape machines betrayed me. That's all I need to say.
Stab in the back.
Tape, I love you. I love you dearly. But it's always the ones that are closest to you, you know? Always ones you trust. They turn the knife on your back. I do think it's a good comparison, though, because, like, you know, Alexa Bliss was predominantly a promo as a wrestler, and obviously Sky Blue talks regularly on the TV show, as we know. So
great promo.
Real overlap there. Yeah, man, I'm with it. Oh, my God. I'm going to put that on the screen, mate, just in case people are scared of spoilers.
Oh, my.
There's some cool shit going down in those Ring of Honor terms. We're going to talk about it kind of broadly in a minute, avoiding specifics best we can. But, yeah, it's exciting. I'm really, really fired up. Yeah. All right. Okay, that's the women's title match cover. Right, next week we've got Rhea and Storm, as I said. We've got the ladder match. The Mad King, Eddie Kingston, has been slung into a ladder match.
Let's go.
Much to his chagrin, I'm sure. Who else is in this? We've got Ortiz, we've got
Sammy
Eddie,
Guevara.
Sammy, yep.
Powerhouse Hobbs.
Takeshita.
Commander,
yep.
I think that's it.
Is it 6?
I believe so. Unless.
Okay,
no, I think that's it.
Either way, is this a casino or is this just all in, right? Face of Revolution's all in.
I think they're all in at the same time.
Yeah, because I remember the one one from last year.
Oh, Andretti's in it. No, is he? Oh, AR Fox. AR Fox is in it.
Really?
I believe so. I might be making shit up, but I'm gonna check right now.
All right, fair enough. Tope, are you excited
Someone
for this?
please confirm in the chat.
Could you? Fair. Tope, can you? Are you excited for this match being moved from the pay-per-view to TV? Do you think that's a good move considering the Iron Man match that waits us at Revolution?
Yeah, it's probably a good move. I do like to believe that Eddie Kingston was being honest on Twitter when he said that he found out he was in this match because of the tweet.
I believe that.
Yeah, feels very likely. They're not. I know from what I can understand, they're not the best at filling people in on those kind of things. You know, you kind of see a graphic in your mentions.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've even previously done that with meet and greets. Like they've just posted, like, here they are. You just hope the wrestler's on Twitter that day and sees it. Yeah, it's very interesting promotion. Nonetheless, it should be a good time. It's an interesting lineup. Who's the winner, though, Tope? I'll stick with you. Who you got winning this damn thing?
I'll go Hobbs.
Mm-hmm.
So Hobbs, this is the problem. Hobbs feels like the right answer, right? They're in San Francisco, and like it feels like he's been waiting to do something of importance, and this would be it. The issue with that is he gets the title shot, the TNT title. And either you do a heel match with Joe or he wrestles Wardlow and, like, I guess loses.
Yeah. Is there a way, can he win, grab the mic, and then insert himself into the pay-per-view match?
Well, then that would be a direct rematch from Full Gear.
Yeah. But Hobbs can win.
Yeah. Well,
Does it have to be TNT?
I do like the idea of Claudio winning. Or not Claudio, Takeshita, sorry.
Yes, Takeshita, I like too.
And you can have Hobbs kind of be taken out and have that move into a feud, an actual thing he does on TV.
I like the Takeshita one because, you know, you got the kind of deal of like him and Wardlow is interesting because it could give Wardlow the chance to have a different kind of match and kind of, you know, run wild as the big athlete that he is, right? He's very capable of having a really cool match with Takeshita, I think. My one concern would be that the crowd could just cheer Takeshita and that wouldn't do Wardlow any good, but I still would. I think it's worth doing anyway. I think Wardlow's winning at the pay-per-view. And frankly, I think he kind of has to win with the story they're telling. Like him talking about his dad and stuff, I think it'd be kind of nuts if he lost. Just cool. Being, you know, oh, cool. Yeah, just being like as analytic as we can be about Sam Joe matches, or as I can be about Sam. But it has to be said, there are some options in this ladder match that are very exciting matches for Joe. And Takeshita's, you know, right at the top of that list. Yeah, that would be something. Eddie Kingston, while I'm not sure you can convince him to climb the ladder, him working a TNT title match with Joe would be pretty spectacular too. I don't know if it's going to happen for other reasons that we don't really get into specifics, but yeah. We'll see how it goes. I'm pretty excited. Dukes, you fired up for the match itself?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of like feuds going to be happening in the ladder match. Like I think Eddie and Ortiz are definitely going to fight. Sammy and Andretti. Yeah. You can have it branch out. We can get fucking Takeshita and AR Fox on a Rampage. I don't know. That sounds fucking awesome.
He's got a big week. AR Fox is on ladder match. And then Thursday, we can talk about this because this has been announced. He's wrestling for the Ring of Honor World title against Claudio Castagnoli.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
So that's a pretty sweet deal. He's killing it, man. God, that guy's had a great run, you know?
He's
tremendous. Awesome. Really, really happy for him. All right, and then it's the big one. Casino Tag Team Battle Royale. There are two big options here, it seems to me. And I'm not doing a bit when I say this. I genuinely think it's Darby and Sting. Like, legitimately. The reason I think that is because I think Jeff and Jay Lethal are, like, much more necessary in a match with them.
Yes.
Because they can do their kind of, like, you know, the kind of stuff that Sting does. Jeff, obviously, we've seen him do it. But the FTR are looming here, and I think they're going to be back sooner rather than later. Tope, firstly, how excited are you for another Battle Royal? I assume not much. Secondly, what's your guess on the winner here?
I'll go Darby and Sting, and I'm more excited for this week than the past week, just with like what the team's going to be. Because, like you said, the two top options are both big pops for me. So,
yeah,
I like the casino thing generally too. I think it's pretty cool. So, should be a good time. Dukes, what about you?
I was FTR fully.
The FTR?
The FTR, yes. But there seems to be no mystery person, like silhouette thing on the graphic. So either they're just going to do it anyway, or Sting and Darby sounds like increasingly more the winner to me. I think.
Yeah, me too.
I think win at the pay-per-view.
Really?
Blaze of glory, brother.
Yeah, I mean, they could do it. I mean, I guess then the idea would be like, you know, it's his last run, right? Sting.
Yeah. I
think the Guns are escaping the pay-per-view with the belts. I'm increasingly convinced that the way they're just telling it, I think it's the idea of like, I think I'm supposed to leave Wednesday regardless of who wins it, being like, the Guns are fucked.
Yeah.
And they escape and he gets more heat on them. I think they'll drop them in a 2-on-2 regardless of who he is against.
I think they have to lose them to FTR.
I still think they're going to. My question,
they might do
personally,
Tony might want to like pop a TV number for that.
Oh god, that would be a tough day when it doesn't pop one at all.
Well, you know, the main event always goes down, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, fair. Where I'm at basically is this. I think FTR are winning the tag belts from the Gun Club, but I don't think they're dropping the Revolution. So it's either they're in this match and someone else gets pinned and they chase them 2-on-2, or they win at pay-per-view and then FTR comes back after the pay-per-view. You know, like personally, my perceived like kind of end game here, I'm still bullish on. I still think that's where they're going. I actually think Dax's antics make it more obvious to me personally, but I may also be like warped by professional wrestling. I don't know. Because I know there are a lot of people whose response to that has been pretty fairly like, oh, they're leaving. I
don't think
I don't buy it at all. But we shall see. So that'll be the. I guess that's the most interesting from like a Hook perspective. I guess not
Hook?
Taz's son. Yeah, not him. No, not the FTW World Champion. But yeah, it'll be fun to see what they come up with. Pay-per-view hype, boys. Where are we at overall? Where are we? Like, give me a vibe on this. Give me a read on the old vibrator for kind of hype going into Revolution.
I'd say between good and impeccable. Actually, no, I'm lying. Impeccable. It's fucking pay-per-view, man. I'm fired up.
My God, Tope, you on board?
Wow, I was gonna do between good and pop, but closer to good, like a.
Whoa, yeah. How about where you are actually, Tope?
Pop in 3/4.
Don't let Mark Davis bully you into a different position here, Tope. Good job. I like it. All right.
I don't like this.
Ring of Honor.
Too bad.
Again, we're going to try and avoid spoilers because I know everyone's going to watch the show differently. That's fine. I respect it. I can't fucking wait, boys. I got the shakes last night. You know what I mean?
That was so cool, man. Everyone popping.
You guys wasn't online, like wrestling online.
I wasn't even watching wrestling for the NXT days.
Right. Tope, you the same?
Yep.
It honestly was fucking... It was weird. It actually was genuinely surreal. Because it reminded me so much, because the same people were tweeting about this that were tweeting about that. It's because it's the same, you know, it's Florida still, but it's like, it was honestly, it was very strange experiencing that. And obviously some of the things they did, again, without doing specifics, because I get it, like, no one's going to want them, was very bing bong pilled, so to speak. So, very, very excited. Dukes, where's your excitement level? Let's go back to that vibrator. Where you at on Ring of Honor TV, brother?
Impeccable. Above impeccable.
Yeah. I can't fucking wait. Tope, you the same?
Yeah.
God bless. All right.
Shout out Chris for the scoops.
Yes.
The inside
Jericho? Oh my God. Tope, just get your sauce away, bro. Hold up. Oh, I need to play a video. I was saying to take the pill off there. Yeah.
Mark Davis never leaks his sources.
Bro. All right. Back to business. Ring of Honor television, fired up, ready to go, exciting times.
Oh, yeah.
None of us have sources. There you go, folks. Fleet Week. I'm going to do a little talk about the grid along in a moment. But firstly, Young Dukes, you have any final words? Any plugs?
I actually do this time.
You do?
Okay. We still don't have a graphic or a video or anything for it, but C-Show Wrestler of the Week, Billy Starks.
Was this week the Emmy match?
Yes.
Really
Holy
good match.
Shit. Fucking ruled. Emmy Soccer gets honorable mention. That whole, honestly, C-Show moment of the week, the match. Because Emmy Soccer did her running, like, crossbody at the fucking ramp, like, onto the thing. It was incredible.
That stage thing was not ready. Did you hear the noise it made? The stage was, like, just crumbled. It was incredible. Yeah.
Taz fucking erupted.
Yeah, it was tremendous. Awesome. Billy she's got like a raw kind of edge to her work. There's like a toughness to it. She hits hard. You can see Emmy kind of being like, "Oh, this is fun."
I'm very fired up for who she's wrestling on Dark. I don't know if that's announced, but
absolutely. This is Spawn here from Kiwi who says about the crowd. The crowd was absolutely dead, and then they started going, and they got them. Absolutely got them. So really, really good match. Good call, Dukes. Tope, did you see that or not?
Not yet. It's on the to watch list.
Fletcher. Tope,
kids.
Any final thoughts?
I don't appreciate this chatter.
Bro, you're one half of your favorite tag team in the world. How bad can it be?
Grateful.
Yeah, but Dukes is the other half.
Owned.
Oh. It's like if someone's in the distraction days was like, "Hey man, you're the Cash Wheeler." It's like, I can live with that. I'd like to be Dax, but I'm happy being Cash. They're my favorite tag team.
That's not true. You'd get mad.
Well, true. Okay, do I? I'm trying to
What
think
if someone
of
said you were Nick Jackson?
I'd rather not.
What if you were
Nikki Cross?
Now you see my dilemma.
If I was Nikki Cross, that'd be a different thing, But it's nonetheless, it's fine. Tope, do you have any final thoughts anyway, mate?
No, Aubrey should be investigated, but my calls are still going out to authority figures, so I'll report back.
How much money did you lose on that Sky Blue match, Chief?
At least 3 figures.
God damn, man. You gotta get
Bro,
help.
the odds
that
were
was
crazy.
That was just on the result,
Better wrestler. She was like plus 900. It was, oh my god. I could have made bank.
All right, tremendous. Okay, folks. Now before we go, I do want to kind of update on what we got into a little bit earlier. Wednesday, one last ride. Myself and Manny the Hooper take to the airwaves. One final Wednesday for a Dynamite Grin Along. The program, we've had a great time with it. We've been doing it for around 4 or 5 months, whatever it's been. We've had a great time, but it's a very, very late night, and I don't know if I'm enhancing anyone's enjoyment of the program by when MJF's music hitting, going, oh, fuck. I don't think that's exciting for anyone. In a different part of my fandom, very busy, unfortunately, so that's going to have to be a casualty. I'm sorry to anyone who looks forward to it. I genuinely am apologetic on that front, but Manny and I will always be on the flagship together now because Manny's on the Thursday show moving forward, so you'll get his thoughts on Dynamite on this platform as well as Wrestle Purist, because he always double books himself, that piece of shit. So that's just the way it is. And I'm sure, look, in all seriousness, there'll be some weeks where we do one because it's a fun lineup. I felt bad last week or this week because that was a good TV show, but it wasn't necessarily good for Grin Along content for a lot of it, right? It's a hard balance to strike, but we'll figure it out nonetheless. Always lots of content here at Late Night Grin, both on Twitch and the Patreon. Speaking of such, WCW Remade premiered last Friday. Matty and I had our yellow legal pads. You want to see that? Go to latenightgrin.com. $1 gets you that in the flagship. Speaking of the flagship, every Thursday, boys.
True.
What's on Thursdays now? Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor Wrestling.
We're back.
Our new leading, because that show will absolutely go 2 hours every week. Going to be a hell of a time. We're going to be kind of, responding to that the way we used to with Rampage. So much going on in the land of grins. Honor is real. I don't have them do anything tomorrow on here. I'm definitely on Wrestle Purist Worldwide with Monty, Ibu, and Manny the Hooper, the aforementioned piece of shit. Tuesday, Grin Grappler, Paul White, the big show, the giant, a fight for each foot, 7 different matches on the lineup. Go check it out, Late Night Grin. It's our pinned tweet.
Incredible name.
One last ride, Dynamite Grin Along. Thursday, the flagship. Jason and Joe shall be either Tuesday or Thursday. I haven't looked that in yet. We will get it figured out. What a time, boys. I'm getting dangerously close to becoming one of those fuckers who just tweets the heart emoji alongside wrestling every day. I'm getting there, man. When we get this Universal deal rolling, we start shooting some angles, start running the razor in that fucking building.
Yeah. We're doing the Ring of Honor Control Center.
Oh, let me tell you something. When they bring in Jesse the Body Ventura to do color commentary on a.
Well, you mean the mind?
Let me tell you something. We need some things we need in this world. Here's what it is: Jesse Ventura, Tony, where are you? Sit Jesse Ventura alongside Ian Riccaboni for a Samoa Joe match, and let's see what happens. Okay, I don't know. It may be bad. It's taped. Who gives a fuck, right? Let me enjoy myself.
You can just edit Caprice in if it goes bad.
Yeah, exactly. He just has to respond to everything Ian asks Jesse.
Yeah.
Talking about being the fucking governor. On that note, folks, we hope you enjoyed this. Check out Fed Deb, which went before us here at Fleet Week. The lads talking about Roman and Cody and all that good stuff. So, the Sunday Night War rages on. Keep grinning. All how. Enjoy this outro, folks. Bye.